Already missed the first train.
Whose fault is that?
Can't this thing go any faster?
Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to talk. Please, Brian.
The city train will depart in 2 minutes. All aboard. The city train will depart in 2 minutes.
You don't understand.
No, you don't understand. I want this thing to end. That's it. That's all. Plain English. Hello? It's my wife.
Oh, hi. Look, I just found this folder of yours in the car. Thought it might be something important.
Did you put a card in my briefcase, Sally?
Card? No. Who's it from?
About to find out.
Brian? Brian? Brian?
Murder call, Central 10, standing by for VKG.
Go ahead, Central 10.
We have a deceased at this location. It appears suspicious, and we have Central detectives on site at crime scene at 10.
Central 10, copy that. Certainly taking their time in there.
Fine by me. They can take all day if they want to.
Sorry?
Well, if it was a bomb, I want to be real sure there's none of it left before I go in there. I'll second that. You don't reckon it would have been terrorists, would it?
It's all yours. Clean as a whistle.
I sincerely hope not. Very cute.
Yes.
All right. I want it all videoed, floor to ceiling. Bomb blast looks like it's been contained to this small area.
Hey, mobile phones, they can set off explosions, can't they?
Yeah, they can. Whatever the device was, I would suggest that he was holding it when it exploded.
Yes, those injuries would certainly support that, and mostly localised to the face and upper torso.
Oh my, what have we got here? Mobile phone and... Constable,
Yeah.
get a poly of this, will you?
Yeah.
Looks
Excuse me, Inspector.
like... You got it?
Yeah.
Looks like it's a piece of a card, Malcolm.
Something printed on it.
Yeah, there is. Something AGE.
Excuse us. Homicide.
Oh, excuse me. My husband, he was on the train and I can't find him anywhere.
Your name, madam?
Hart, Sally Hart, and my husband's name is Brian. I just dropped him here and then I rang him on his mobile.
What, did you speak to him?
Yes, I did. They said that someone's been killed. I can't find Brian anywhere.
Well, if you just stay here, we'll see what we can find out.
Thanks.
Sorry, stay with her, will you? You got a man with a mobile phone?
Yeah, come and see for yourselves, but hold on to your hats.
One of the passengers saw the victim talking to a woman just prior to the explosion. We haven't been able to locate that woman as yet.
We got a woman out there who's got a missing husband. They were talking on his mobile.
Well, it could be him. Found a mobile phone in his hand.
Lance, can I get the pocket?
Yes.
Fisk, you think the phone triggered the explosion?
Well, Hayden, it's impossible to say until we find the type of incendiary device.
How much of it have you found?
I haven't found anything, apart from remnants of the packaging.
You found confetti.
The device shattered itself into small missiles which appear to be embedded in the victim's face and chest. You'll get your evidence, Lance, when I finish the autopsy.
Would have happened quickly anyway.
Get the press away from here and make sure the press stays away from here. What was the name of the woman's missing husband?
Brian Hart.
Well, his wife's going to have to be informed.
Are you sure it's Brian? Oh, I want to see him.
That's probably not a very good idea right now. Why don't you come and take a seat?
Now, Mrs. Hart, can you tell us exactly what happened? You said that you were speaking to your husband on the phone.
He left a folder in the car and I thought he might need it, so I rang him. He said, no, he asked me if I'd left a card in his briefcase.
Card?
His card, he was opening it. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Take your time.
Now, can you tell me, did your husband catch the train alone to work? Was there anyone with him when he caught the train?
I'm not sure, I don't know. But even if he did, he was running late this morning. He normally catches the train before this one.
Where did your husband work?
The family business. Sweetheart greeting cards. His brother will need to be told. Graham Hart.
Still can't believe it. I was so surprised when he didn't turn up for work on time, but, you know, he's usually so punctual.
Did your brother get on well with the staff?
Will you get on with your work, please? Well, Brian got on well with the staff, as well as any boss I've ever known.
He was the boss, was he?
Yeah, the managing director. I'm the accountant.
Were there any rivals in other companies, any professional disputes?
Well, none that I know of. I mean, certainly none that would warrant killing him.
Mr. Hart, we believe this is part of the card that your brother had with him this morning. Can you tell us if this is one of your company's cards?
Oh, well, you haven't given me much to go on. I suppose I could try and match the font with our designs.
Yeah, I would appreciate that, thank you.
And if you could just point us in the direction of your brother's office, sir.
Right. Well, the catalogues are in there. Kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. Dad.
What do you want?
This is my father, Walter Hart. Detectives Hayden and Vance from Homicide.
I already know my boy's dead. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a business to run.
We're very sorry about your son, Mr. Hart.
Oh, really? You call that tact, do you?
Can you tell me where Brian usually left his briefcase?
Well, this is his office. He probably left it by his desk. Now, what do you think?
And who would have had access to that, sir?
What do you call this, a prison camp?
Well, most of the staff, really. I mean, security's pretty casual. We've no real need for anything.
What are you doing there, boy?
I'm trying to see if this is one of ours.
Here. Here's one of those newfangled electronic cards. Ones you record a message on. You won't find it in the catalogue. It's still a prototype.
We'll need a sample of the card sent down to homicide.
I'll organise that for you.
Mr. Hart, could you tell me how the electronic cards work?
How the hell should I know? Go and talk to Jeremy.
Do you want one?
No, thank you.
The black ones are the best.
Jeremy, we're told you make these electronic calling cards.
I design them. I'm good with this, but not so good with these.
And how do they work?
Well, it's they're quite simple, really. You press the button, which activates the recording chip, and record your own message. Happy 90th birthday, Auntie Mabel. Don't forget me in your will. And then pressing the button again replays the recorded message. Happy 90th birthday, Auntie Mabel. Don't forget me in your will.
It's very clever.
Thank you.
Jeremy, it's quite possible one of these cards exploded and caused the death of your boss.
No way. It can't. Well, if it did, then someone must have tampered with it.
Jeremy, these cards aren't available on the market, are they?
No, not yet. What, are you saying it's someone who works here? Are we?
Jeremy, now you're gone. I can't forget. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that Jeremy was alone.
No, that's okay, Judith. These are the detectives investigating Brian's death. Judith Beecroft, Poet Laureate.
He only says that because I'm a published poet.
You're published? That's very impressive.
Well, I've just been working on a verse for Brian. Now you're gone. I can't forget. My memories have more letters than the alphabet. Oh, I think it means the poet. Sorry.
So the bomb was packaged in a greeting card.
Cards are made from board, not paper, and the remnants from the crime scene were also board. The same thickness and grammage as that card there, which arrived from Sweetheart Cards.
Bon voyage?
Yeah, the irony's obvious, to say the least.
Just what we need, a killer who thinks he's got a sense of humour.
Malcolm, the woman who was seen talking to the victim before the explosion, any leads?
There's a commuter who's helping us to compose an image of her as we speak.
Well, I hope this does you justice.
What's morning, Barbara? Have you heard? It's Brian. He's dead. There you go.
Thanks. I'll be okay.
Detectives. This is Barbara Tovish, a graphic designer. She just arrived.
How do you do?
Excuse me, Detective Hayden.
Yes.
I thought you might like to have a look at this.
What is it?
It's volume 1 of my poetry. I published it myself. Well, the publishing houses aren't looking at real talent anymore.
Thank you very much.
Well, come on. Don't be shy. I don't mind autographing it for you.
Judith.
Now, is that Stephen with the PH or with the V?
With a V.
There you go. Enjoy.
I will.
I'm sorry about that, Detective. Judith's a real pain when it comes to that book. We all got a copy. Right. Do yourself a favour and dump it.
Miss Tovish, do you always start work at this time?
No. I was running late this morning. Traffic was terrible. I'm sorry. Brian was a good man.
The victim sustained multiple injuries. Predominantly the rupture of the thoracic organs.
What?
Both eardrums were ruptured, And of course the traumatic severing of the right hand. Are you going to grunt all day?
I don't grunt, Imogen. I make small exclamations of interest.
Is there something specific you're looking for?
Yes, something that would arm the bomb, if you could manage.
You wouldn't think a bomb that small could do so much damage.
Certainly a cruel path to be led down. Discovery of the card. You're wondering who it's from. 1 minute it's all anticipation and the next...
We're scraping your remains off a train seat.
When I heard what you uttered just then, I realised that tact wasn't given to men. Is this what you're looking for?
Yes.
And that doesn't help us?
No, I was looking for something a little more unique. That's a micro switch, very common. Still, might tell us something.
Don't mention it, Lance.
So, are you saying that this would have been relatively easy to turn into a bomb?
Yes, with some very basic explosive knowledge. The wire connected to the speaker would have been disconnected, then attached to a detonator.
So the mobile phone didn't trigger the explosion?
Correct. Those aluminium fragments that Imogen found were from a detonator. That would have been used to set off the explosion. Now, I did find some residue on the micro switch. That tells us what sort of explosive was used.
Oh, that's a big help. Explosive sales have to be documented. We can trace who it was sold to.
No, not this one, I'm afraid. There's nothing here that can't be found in a well-stocked medicine cabinet.
Terrific.
Do you think it's significant the killer sent the bomb in a greeting card?
Oh, it could be just a blatant reference to the victim's business.
My family never sends cards. We just ring each other up. Or email.
Really? Not us. We couldn't wait for those cards to arrive.
That's nice.
Of course they had money in them.
Aww.
Why else would I want them to arrive? Hey.
This is a photo of the woman who was seen talking to the victim on the train.
That's familiar. Isn't that Barbara...
Yeah. Barbara Tovish.
Yes.
She works for Sweetheart Cards.
Okay, I was on the train. I sometimes catch it to work.
Why didn't you tell us that before?
Well, I'm telling you now.
Why did you leave the train station before the police arrived?
I didn't realise what had happened. I thought the train had an electrical fault or something.
You were seen talking to the deceased shortly before the explosion?
Yes, but I moved into another carriage before it happened.
What prompted you to change carriages?
Brian got a call from his wife. I was just giving him some privacy.
Privacy. You needed to change carriage to do that.
Look, why all the questions? I just had a 2-minute conversation with him and then I left. So what?
Miss Tovish, you were the last person seen talking to the deceased. And you've gone to a great deal of trouble to conceal that fact.
You know, Barbara could have left the carriage because she knew the bomb was about to go off.
Motive?
Well, maybe she and Brian were having an affair. Brian wanted to break it off. She had better ideas.
Yeah, and what are you basing this on?
Why else would she go looking for him on the train and then lie about it? I mean, love makes people do strange things, doesn't it?
Like writing poetry.
Yeah, I'll just take...
I'm finishing.
D. She's not used to having an admirer.
She's not an admirer, all right?
No, well, what do you call that then?
That's a multiplication sign.
You know, if there was an affair, the question is, was Brian's wife aware of it?
He was late for the train because we were celebrating the night before.
What were you celebrating?
A Japanese deal. Brian was in the final stages of negotiating a contract over this new electronic greeting card.
Jeremy's invention?
Yes.
What sort of a deal?
Distribution worldwide.
That would mean a lot of money, wouldn't it?
Yes. Brian was talking millions.
Mrs. Hart, were you aware that your husband wasn't alone on the train yesterday?
What do you mean?
There was a colleague of his, Barbara Tovish. She was seen talking to your husband moments before the explosion. Was she a friend of your husband?
No. No, not really.
Mrs. Hart, I realise this is a difficult time for you, but I do need to ask. Do you have any reason to believe that your husband might have been having an affair?
How dare you? My husband was never unfaithful to me. Never. Oh, look, I'm sorry. I just think you should both leave now.
love trying.
Struck a nerve with the widow.
The victim's only been dead for 24 hours. That sort of information's not going to be very welcome.
Yeah, but her reaction was more defensive than distraught.
What are you suggesting?
Barbara and Brian had or were having an affair, and the wife, Sally, knew about it.
So, who's the suspect, Barbara or the wife?
Both.
Yeah. Barbara could be the jilted lover, and Sally the scorned woman. They both had access to the briefcase and to the greeting card that nailed him.
Anything else?
Yeah, there's the Japanese connection.
Japanese connection.
Brian got it into his head that this newfangled invention of Jeremy's was the future for the company.
According to his wife, the deal was worth millions.
Oh, that's right, Detective. The Asian market.
Since when did I need you to speak for me, boy? Well, but Brian wouldn't listen to a word I said. You can't trust those nips.
You mean the Japanese?
You're damn right. Sneaky mongrels. I know all about them. I was a sapper in New Guinea during World War II.
Dad, I don't think they want to hear your war story.
What did I just say to you?
So you were opposed to the deal, Mr. Hart?
I told Brian there was no way a company I built with my bare hand would ever jump into bed with the enemy.
Did you know that the vacuum cleaner came as a flash of brilliance in the middle of the night?
Really?
And that's how the calling card came about. I woke up at 3 a.m. and there it was, like a picture in my mind. And I could not believe that no one had thought of it before.
You must have been very excited when Brian Hart told you about the Japanese deal.
Yeah, sure. It was good for the company.
And for you?
Well, the company owns my work, but my name's going to be on all the sales brochures as the inventor.
But you won't benefit financially?
Well, Brian said that he'd give me a Christmas bonus. Fixed.
Oh, Detective Hayden. So tell me, wicked eyes, I bet.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I know how busy you are, and it's a bit egotistical of me to think that you would have read the whole book, but I just know that Wicked Eyes is going to be your favourite. Well, it's one of my best.
Wicked Eyes.
Yeah.
Walter Hart said that he was a sapper in New Guinea. What's a sapper?
They're engineers.
Army engineers.
Well, look, I don't know where the name sapper came from, but they build bridges, they prepare landing sites, etc. They have explosive knowledge and expertise. Hey, they blow things up.
By the looks of it, Walter Hart had quite a colourful military career.
Active service in New Guinea.
Yeah, look, it says here, was awarded a military medal for valour in 1943. Stayed behind to blow up a bridge as the enemy were crossing it.
Discharged in May of 1944, suffering symptoms of mental instability.
Unprovoked physical attack on fellow officer. Broke 4 ribs and fractured the officer's skull.
Doesn't do things by halves, does he?
Walter was unstable to begin with, and his son dealing with the Japanese may well have pushed him over the edge.
A lot of diggers harbour resentment towards the Japanese. When I told my father that I liked sushi and was quite partial to sake, he never spoke to me again.
What, never?
3 weeks later, he stepped off the pavement and got hit by a car.
No.
Japanese car, too. He would have hated that. But Walter Hart also had a record with the Department of Social Services.
Both his sons placed into foster care due to neglect and abuse.
Okay, so we had our problems. Every family does.
Yeah. Why exactly were you and your brother put into foster care?
Dad just couldn't cope when Mum left, that's all.
Couldn't cope in what way?
That was a long time ago, girlie. Now, what exactly are you getting at?
Well, your sons were removed from your care, Mr. Hart.
So what? They both came good, didn't they? I mean, they stuck with me. Would they have done that if I was such a bad father?
I eventually went to live back with Dad. But Brian, well, he hit the hippie trail.
And you went to work for your father?
After I finished uni, yeah. When Brian finally turned up and got himself a haircut, Dad put him in charge of the company.
How did you feel about that?
Well, my father always believed that life experience counted for more than schooling. I couldn't argue with that. My brother was a good manager.
Yes, but you weren't happy about the deal that Brian was striking with the Japanese, were you, Mr. Hart?
You got a bloody hide snooping round on my private business.
Look, it's my job to find out who killed your son, all right?
And I got better things to do than sit around here listening to insulting questions just so you can justify your pay packet.
I need to ask you about your military experience, your knowledge of explosives.
So that's what this is all about, is it? Well, let me tell you, girlie. Bombs these days are made with this newfangled micro-technology. I work with RDX and TNT. If I'd made the bomb that killed Brian, there'd be nothing left of that bloody train. I mean, nothing.
I knew I did.
Jeremy!
What?
Walter and Graham are being interviewed by the police.
Are they here now, the police?
Oh, no, they're at homicide. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Jeremy, I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong. Come on, what are you looking for?
I am fine. Everything is under control.
I was just asking Jeremy.
All right. Sorry, all right?
Now you relax. Come on, sit down. Everything is going to be all right. You know, things aren't that bad. See?
What are you doing here?
I just need to talk to you.
Look, I can't deal with this right now.
Please, Sally, I just want to tell you what Brian said on the train.
Oh, what, so you can absolve yourself of any guilt?
Please, Sally.
I just don't want to know, okay? I wish both of you had been blown up. Just go away, just go.
Find them yet?
What does it look like?
Well, don't you take that tone with me, boy. Might be able to stab me in the back to the police, but I'm still in charge round here.
I said nothing to the police.
Tell them I was unstable, did you? Well, did you? I want the papers on the Japanese deal, and I want them right now.
Mr. Hart, said on the phone you had some new evidence.
Yeah, I found something that might be important. It's a letter. I found it in Brian's files. Barbara threatened to kill my brother, and I believe she did.
Could you read this letter to us, please, Miss Turvish? We are both aware I have a valid contract with this company, so your threats of sacking me will remain just that, only threats. You can't continue to treat me or us like this. This will end Brian one way or another. Not a very friendly letter, madam. Would you care to explain, please?
Brian was making my working conditions difficult.
And why was that?
Professional disagreements. It happens.
This will end Brian one way or another. There's one way to kill him?
No. I was stressed about the situation at work.
And that's what you were arguing about.
This
with
cubicle
Brian.
is occupied at the moment, Constable.
We weren't arguing. We were talking.
You can't continue to treat me or us like this. You love us?
No.
Miss Tavish, you lied to us about being on the train. Why should we believe you now?
You had access to the deceased's briefcase, which contained the greeting card that killed him. You just happened to leave the carriage moments before the explosion. It's not looking very good, Miss Tavish.
I didn't kill him. That's all I have to say.
Nervous young lady.
we're missing something here.
Yes, answers.
Barbara Tovish is the jilted lover. Why go to all the trouble of rigging up a greeting card to explode? Why not just keep it simple, run him over in the car park?
I agree. It's overkill when you look at the motive.
You think we're barking up the wrong tree?
I think that there's something more to this greeting card. I think the killer was making a point.
This is it. That's what Brian left in the car that morning. The Japanese file.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just hope you can close the deal. Brian was working day and night on that thing. He was never home.
Sally, you really shouldn't be by yourself.
I'm all right.
Look, what if I sort this out and then come back? I could keep you company.
No, it's not necessary. Besides, work must be busy as hell.
Yeah, I have to admit, it is a bit chaotic. And they've hauled Barbara in for questioning again.
Why?
She wrote Brian a threatening letter.
What?
Oh, I don't know what it means. Let the police sort it out.
You better go, Graham. I mean, I don't want Walter yelling at you for holding him up.
Well, if you need anything. See you soon.
Is that them contracts?
Yeah. Final signature's all that's required. The rest is in the bag, so to speak.
Take a memo for me.
Take a memo? I'm not a secretary.
Well, you are today, boy. Now sit down. You're gonna sort this mess out once and for all. Oh, come on, boy, come on. Paper. Can't take a memo without something to write on.
What's going on? Why do we need to take a memo?
'Cause the deal is off. Hell is gonna freeze over before this company starts dealing with the nips. And your brother's not here to stop me.
Steve?
Mrs. Hart would like to speak to us.
Hope I'm not disturbing you.
No, not at all. Please, take a seat. What can we do for you?
Graham told me that you've been questioning Barbara Tovish about Brian's death. She didn't kill him. She couldn't have.
And what makes you say that?
Well, I just know that she couldn't, that's all. You've got it all wrong. Barbara wasn't having an affair with Brian.
Are you certain of that?
Yes, I am. She was having an affair with me. Barbara and I have been seeing each other for about 6 months. It wasn't something that I... Look, I've never done anything like this before.
And Brian found out?
No, I told him. I couldn't stand lying to him.
How'd he take it?
I told him that I wanted a divorce, and he begged me to reconsider. He said that he wanted me to stop seeing Barbara, but I couldn't do that. I love her. I know my timing's not the best. Brian had such a lot on his plate with this Japanese deal and with his father giving him such a hard time over it.
When did you tell your husband about the relationship with Barbara?
A week ago. At first he just took it out on me. He was hurt. I understood that. But then he started on Barbara. So there you go. It's not what you thought. Barbara had nothing to do with his death.
Mrs. Hart, you've just told us that you and Barbara Tovish both had motive for your husband's murder.
I'm going to increase our order of recycled paper. Is that okay with you?
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
You've been here too long, Graham.
Get a reply from that memo yet?
I haven't sent it.
You know how to use a fax machine, don't you, boy?
I'll be accepting the Japanese deal.
What?
It's good for the company.
No, you listen to me,
No,
boy.
you listen to me. Now, everyone knows that Brian was running this company. You're redundant. You have been for years. But Brian humoured you. We all did. It was all a joke. Just like you calling yourself a father. And this is my office now. So you can just find somewhere else for all of this memorabilia. And another thing, don't ever call me boy again. I'm 42 years old.
Wicked, wicked eyes, without soul yet soulful. Without depths, yet in them I see the secrets of the universe. I never did get the hang of poetry.
Why is that?
Well, I couldn't figure out why some bits rhymed and some bits didn't. Yes, so that's great. I do have a reason for being here, sir. I was just dropping off the photogrammetry drawings for Stephen Tessa. And,
She walks to the beat of a different drum, that girl. I can never fathom how her mind works. I can never fathom how her mind works.
I'm good with this, but not so good with these. Fixed. You got something?
I think we should pay Sweetheart Cards another visit.
Doing back here?
Have you been looking for something? I don't think you've told us everything, have you, Jeremy?
Okay, all right. I altered the card. But it wasn't supposed to happen the way it did. It was supposed to burst into flames, not explode.
Why did you do it?
Because I wanted to scare him. Brian was going to take my idea and make millions. Don't you think that's unfair? But if the cards were faulty, he'd bring them to me and he'd see that I could fix them, that I'm worth something to this company. I swear to God, he was not meant to die. Look, I made some extra cards in case it didn't work the first time, but now they've all gone missing.
No, they haven't. I took them. I didn't want Jeremy getting into any more trouble than he already is.
You knew he'd rigged the cards.
I'm sorry.
Look, I'll show you. They're only supposed to burst into flames.
No.
Is she all right?
Yeah, she'll be fine.
There's every indication that it's the same device that was used to kill Brian Hart.
Well, he was so insistent the cards weren't meant to explode.
Oh, why did he kill himself? Jeremy, no!
Oh, no, it's all right, Jude.
Tessa, sit down.
You knew that card was going to explode, didn't you?
Oh, poor sweet Jeremy.
That's why you screamed out for him to stop. You were the one who tampered with the cards, weren't you, Judith?
That's nonsense.
What if I told you that we had a warrant to search your house? We'd find the ingredients that you used to make that bomb, wouldn't we?
We have no idea what a pig that man was. He laughed at my poetry. He laughed at my books. He said that I should be put in charge of humorous cards. I am a poet. Can you imagine how that made me feel?
So that's why you killed him?
Yeah. I persuaded Jeremy to rig the card so they'd burst into flames. All I had to do was add the explosives and, bon voyage.
Constable, this woman is under arrest. Take her away. Carefully.
Brian Hart is dead, huh? There's nothing left of him now. It's almost like he didn't exist. But my poetry will live on. Live on forever.
You know we would have had a snowball's chance of getting a search warrant, right?
I didn't say we'd get a warrant, I said what if.
How exactly were you going to get a search warrant without any evidence? Were you hoping for some senile magistrate? Detective, you were skating on thin ice. A clever lawyer could turn that into entrapment.
Malcolm, I think I should take Tessa down the hospital, have this cut looked at. What do you think?
Of course. And when you both get back to homicide, I want you to make sure that Judith, our bomber, is properly cautioned and receives the offer of legal counsel, because I want no what-ifs when this case goes to court. Right.
Good to know I'm not the only one he yells at.
Yes.
Yes, the difference is you usually deserve it, Constable.
Thank you. You know, if I'd tried a stunt like that, I'd still be bouncing around the wall with Thorn's boot up my backside.
Oh, that's probably your wicked eyes.
Yes, thank you.
Wicked eyes? I don't understand.
I got a book I can lend you, Toots.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Tessa going to be okay?
I'll see you back there.
Yes, don't worry. It's just superficial.